Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today, we're going to be talking about United Wholesale Mortgage ticker UWMC. Now, in this video, I'm going to be talking about new pieces of due diligence, technical analysis, and what I think about this one. I've done this topic before relating towards UWMC. You'll find my previous video in the description, but we have new updates today, so let's jump right into that one. The United Wholesale Mortgage, we do have the second quarter results, and we're going to be discussing this mainly today, followed by technical analysis. And the current main news is that they have $138.7 million in the second quarter of 2021 as a net income. Now, a part of this includes a record quarterly total loan volume of around $59.2 billion and purchase volume of around $24.1 billion in the second quarter of 2021. And the publicly traded company, indirect parent of United Wholesale Mortgage, UWM, is the #1 wholesale mortgage lender in America. Today announced its results for the second quarter ending 2021, June 30th, with a net income of $138.7 million, as we said. And this record loan origination volume for the quarter also includes a record quarterly of $24.1 billion in purchase volumes, and net income for the second quarter wasn't inclusive of a $219.1 million decline in fair value of mortgage services rights. So Matt Ishbia, the chairman and the CEO, said, "We demonstrated the strength of our business by delivering our best quarter of all time in terms of the overall production and purchase production. As we have said previously, UM is built on success, and not only when there is a refi bomb and margins are a record high, but also when margins are compressed and purchase business drives the volume. Consumers are increasingly coming to realize that working with a broker is the cheapest, fastest, and easiest way to get a mortgage, and as long as the wholesale channel flourishes, so will UWM as the undisputed leader and champion of that channel." And so some of the second quarter 2021 financial highlights includes the $59.2 billion record origination, which is a 90% increase from $31.1 billion in the second quarter of 2020, and the purchase origination of $24.1 billion, a 288% increase compared to $6.2 billion in the second quarter of 2020. The total gain margin of around 81 basis points in the second quarter 2021 compared to 243 basis points in second quarter 2020 as well. So second quarter of 2021, the net income was $138.7 million. That's inclusive to a $219 million decline in fair value. Now, moving on to this as well, total equity of $2.69 billion as of June 30th, 2021, as compared to $1.47 billion as of June 30th, 2020. An unpaid principal balance of mortgage service rights increased to $260.5 billion as of June 30th, 2021, from $109.4 billion at June 30, 2020. Commercial stock buyback and repurchase program bought 790,600 shares at $6.1 million through June 30th, 2021. And you're able to see that the biggest thing here, and I'm going to try to be as unbiased as I can, even though I am disclosing that I do have a position in UWMC, that you're able to see that yes, the closed volumes increase. You see a massive increase in there, but the net income is a lot lower. So the total margin gain, total margin gain is around 0.81 compared to 219. And in all retrospect into that, you're able to see that the net income is a smaller chunk of the closed loan volume when you're taking ratios. We'll discuss why that is happening in a second. You're also able to see that the adjusted net income and the EBITDA has seen a decrease a little from the first quarter of 2021 and as well from the second quarter of 2020. The biggest reason into that really comes in towards trying to aggressively capture a bigger share of the market while sacrificing some of that net income. So operational and community highlights includes that they maintained an average start or application to close time of approximately 18 days in second quarter of 2021, while management estimates that the average of the industry remains at 47 days. And our 1.19% 60 plus day delinquency and our 1.06% forbearance rate as of June 30th, 2021 are significantly better than the industry's average of 4.37% and 3.76% respectively. And they also launched Future You, which is an internship program for children that are aging out of the foster care system aimed to provide a career launchpad at UWM. And in terms of technology updates, in the second quarter of 2021, they launched a proprietary document management software platform that enables end-to-end document management, making our process more efficient. We expect to estimate the annual cost saving is going to be around $8 million. Now, in terms of the purchases here, you're able to see that the total purchases actually doubled in the first quarter of 2021 and more than doubled, actually quadrupled, or 4 times as much than the second quarter of 2020. The conventional seen a really nice increase from 17.4 billion for conventional compared to 10.3 in first quarter and second quarter last year 4.6. You're able to see as well that the jumbo ones, and this one is a little bit biased because their jumbo has seen a massive increase, is around 3.1 billion compared to 13.2 million last quarter and last year 61 million. Government, you're able to see a nice increase around twice as both quarters. Now, refinancing, you're able to see that the total refinancing still remains somewhat the same as the first quarter of 2021, but enjoys a nice 50% increase from the second quarter of 2020. So in their total, you're able to see how these things are actually changing. Now, in terms of the third quarter 2021 outlook, so they're anticipating third quarter production to be 57 to 62 billion range dollars. So you're able to see that that is still a little bit higher than what they've given for the second quarter of 2021, and they expect to gain margins between 75 and 100 basis points. And from there, you're able to see as well that the dividends will be around 10 cents per share based on the shares as of the record close on September 10th, 2021, and it will be paid around October 6th, 2021. Before moving on forward, if you'd like to see more contents like this, make sure to please subscribe and leave notifications on to this channel on the bottom right corner. Also, don't forget to drop a like to this video if you've actually enjoyed this video, and you can join our Discord totally free in the description below. Now, in terms of institutional buyers, what we're able to actually see here is that they're very bullish on the institutions in general. A lot of these companies have been buying shares. For instance, Two Sigma Investments added just today around 230,000, and a lot of new positions were added on the 16th to start with. So Tudor Investments added around 107. Some are moving some of their shares from their portfolio, but majority are adding. Now let's move on towards technical analysis. Now from a technical analysis perspective, some of these are going to look bearish, but really what we're focusing on is in terms of the volumes. So first off, the moving averages have been looking somewhat bearish ever since the 30th of June kind of dropped. So that really doesn't tell you anything's changing there. In terms of the ADX, it is really easily being able to push, or is able to be pushed towards a trend. So that's good. On the William %R, it's sitting closer to somewhere towards neutral between the 20 and the 80 level. And in terms of the MACD, you're able to see actually an increase, and even though it dropped today all the way down to 707, you're seeing this bullish move backwards as it's being refused this negative trend. So that's really a good pulse. Stochastic fast and stochastic slow, both our volume momentum indicators are pushing upwards, and this one is expected to trade between actually 787 and 733 on the Bollinger Bands. But the Bollinger Bands are very small. You're able to see that it's easy for this level to go ahead for a reversal. So in moving on towards the Fibonacci retracements, the reason why I'm showing this one is because frequent traders and institutional buyers actually use this one. The current resistance is at 771, 862, 935, 1008, 1112, and 1245, and the support is at 625. However, on a price line action, you're able to see that there is currently a very critical support sitting at 758 that is very strong. Below there, around 739. Below there, we're going down towards 707, and then to 698, that's kind of a range there, and then 673, and then down to 660, and then 636 to 625. The current resistance onto this one is a little bit of a chalky one at 769. If it does break it, it's a lot easier to go to 788 to 798. That's another range. And then from there on, it would go to 830, 866, going upwards to $9, and then up to 942, and then up to 976, going up to $10. And then from there on, it's sitting closer towards $11, 1166, 1245. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this one? Well, I'm actually still bullish in UWMC, although their net income doesn't look good. But you gotta understand what the strategy that they're trying to do. They're trying to go over on the blanket of the market, trying to capture everything by giving smaller rates, or even just increasing their expenses in that sense. And it's completely understandable for that direction that they're trying to go for, especially as well with them trying to be more aggressive with capturing that. We know that UWMC is quite of an aggressive stock when it's, or a company, when it's trying to capture that market, and it looks like so far they're actually going ahead and succeeding with capturing a bigger share, but it could need some time a little bit to go back towards these higher margins, and it's more about customer retentions and relationships. So I do still remain bullish. I would like to say the net income, or net income, my bad, in the billions. That would be really nice. And, or actually in the top of the billions, so maybe 10 billion to 11 billion, that would actually be really good to capture that marketplace as well, and the market shares. And I do think that is possible within the next 5 years. So what do you think about this ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps, we just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can ask me questions, suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.